Hey guys, it's Miss Matile here. So welcome to another episode of Miss Matile on YouTube. I want to remind you that this channel is for open-minded people. If you are not open-minded, you won't be able to understand my teaching. So in today's episode, I want to teach you guys about the 4 main types of attachment style personality that a child can develop during their childhood stage based on their childhood experiences. Okay, so I will discuss them one by one. My number 1 attachment style personality that a child can develop in their childhood stage is called secure attachment style personality. Okay, so how do a child develop a secure attachment style personality? The child will develop a secure attachment style personality whenever all their emotional needs were met by their caregiver. I told you in the other video to say a caregiver can be a family member or your biological parents. If all your emotional needs were met by your caregiver when you were growing up, you are more likely to develop what we call a secure attachment style personality. Okay, so if your parents protected you when you were young, if they comforted you, and they just met all your emotional needs. So, when I'm talking of the needs, I taught you in other videos to say, when you are born with needs. A need to be loved, a need to be comforted, a need to be protected. So if all these needs were met by your caregiver, since from the day you were born and that whole process of you growing up, you are more likely to develop a secure attachment style personality. You have security. You won't grow up insecure because you were provided security. All your emotional needs and any other needs that you had from the day you were born throughout your growing process, if all your needs were met by your caregiver, then you have developed a secure attachment personality that you will take with you to your adulthood stage, and you will grow up secure. You won't grow up with insecurity of any sort. Okay, I understand that no parent is perfect, but it's very important that if you give birth, particularly the mothers, it's very important that you provide a secure childhood to your child, so that your child won't grow up insecure, so that your child won't grow up lacking some things. For example, lacking love, lacking protection, lacking comfort. If you ignore their needs, then they will grow up insecure, and as adults, they will look for these things in other people. In every relationship that they will have, they will look for those needs that were not met by you as a parent when they were growing up. Okay. So make efforts to meet your baby's need. Okay, so if you meet all your child's needs, the child learns that they can express their negative emotions. If you are a type of a parent, when you have your baby and your baby is crying, and whenever they are crying, you call them to say, "Come, why are you crying? It's okay, stop crying." Like that, you are comforting them. You are providing them security. They will feel safe. They will feel like that if they have a negative emotion, they are allowed to express them. And if they express them, there will be always someone to help. So, as adults, they will learn how to express their negative emotions. And they are more likely to seek help. Some parents, we have parents, whenever their children are crying, what they tend to do, they will say, "Why are you crying?" with a harsh tone. "Stop crying. You are just rude." If you do like that to your child, you are teaching your child to suppress their emotions. You are teaching them that they should suppress them and they should not seek help. So they will grow up with that, and whenever they are going to do romantic relationship, they won't express their negative emotion and they won't seek help. Children learn when you as a parent, if you meet all your child's needs, particularly mothers, your child will learn how to trust. Because I want you to understand, when a baby is born with full trust of their biological parent, particularly the mother. They are born fully able to trust the mother 100% with all their needs. So all of us, we were born to trust fully. The trust only is destroyed by our caregiver if they are not meeting all our needs throughout our growing process. So if you are attending to all your child's needs, they learn how to trust because they were born able to trust you fully. So they will learn to trust, and as adults, they will have a healthy self-esteem also. Because if they are crying and you are there saying, "Come, why are you crying? It's okay." You are there comforting them with love. You are there protecting them. Like that, they learn to trust and they will have a healthy self-esteem. A healthy self-esteem is coming from where? When you are responding to all their needs, you are teaching them that they are important. You are teaching them that if they have a need, their need is worth being responded to. So you are responding to them because they are important. That will build their self-esteem. They will have a high self-esteem. But if they are crying or if they have need and you reject and ignore the needs, then they will learn not to trust. They will learn that they are not that important since you are not responding to their needs. And they will grow up with a low self-esteem. Okay, So if you are ignoring their needs, they will grow up thinking their needs are not important. And they won't feel important. These are type of people that whenever they will be adult, they won't feel important. They won't feel that they have value because their mother did not provide them with that. So even if they are in the workplace, they won't feel that they have value or that they are important or that they deserve to be promoted or that they deserve to receive any favor from other people. Because when they were young, they never felt, their mother never made them to feel important. Okay, so if you are ignoring their needs, just know they will grow up thinking they are not important and they can never trust anybody in this life. So teach them to trust you with all their needs. Then they will grow up they will grow up secure in every area of their life. When they are at the workplace, they will know that they are important, they deserve everything good, they deserve promotion, they deserve all this stuff. When they are in a romantic relationship, they will grow up secure in every area of their life. So if they are crying, do not beat them and say stop crying. You are teaching them to suppress their emotions. And as adults, they won't seek help. They won't share their negative emotion with anybody. They will suppress those negative emotions within them. And these are the type of people that don't even cry. When they have problems, they won't even cry because they were taught to suppress their emotions. So, yeah. So, if they are crying and you are beating them and you are telling them to stop crying, just know you are teaching them to suppress their emotion and they won't express their emotion when they grow up. And that will affect their life and all the romantic relationships that they will have. Okay, so my number 2 type of attachment style personality that a child can develop in their childhood stage, it's called anxious attachment style. What causes anxious attachment style? It's inconsistent parenting style by a parent or by a caregiver. So what causes anxious attachment style personality? It's when you as a parent, you are using inconsistent parenting style. For example, some parents, what they tend to do, when a child is crying, sometimes they will pick them up and say, why are you crying? And they comfort them nicely. And the other time when the child is crying, they will ignore the child cry and they will say, you are rude, just stop crying. Why are you crying? Like that, you are using inconsistent parenting style. And now this causes your child to develop what you call anxious attachment style. So they become anxious because they do not know what type of a parenting style you will use next. Because sometimes you pick them up and sometimes you don't. So they become anxious because they do not know what parenting style to expect from their parent. So they become confused and insecure. You see now. Okay, so yeah. So children that experiences anxious, insecure attachment style as adult, they are not easily comforted when they are angry. It will take them a long time to calm down. You see? And they may need constant reassurance and affection from their partner. These are the type that will ask you, do you really love me? They will constantly ask you, do you really? They constantly need assurance for their partner to say they truly love them. Because when they were growing up, their parent neglected them, neglected their emotions. Sometimes they were picked up when they were crying, sometimes they were not. So they won't feel loved. And they will grow up with that insecurity, and they will take that into their adulthood stage. And whenever they are going to do romantic relationship, they will need reassurance from their partner if they truly love them. They might also have trouble being alone or single. And they will also have trouble or difficult in trusting others. They will have low self-esteem. They will worry that their partner will abandon them. And these are type also that will crave for closeness and intimacy in romantic relationships. And these are type that become overly dependent in a relationship, requiring frequent reassurance that people care about you, being overly sensitive to a partner's action and moods, being highly emotional, and unpredictable moody, because they have a history of emotional neglect in their childhood stage. Their emotions were neglected. They were taught to be confused. They have that anxious attachment style. They will be anxious about everything because of the inconsistent parenting style that was used by their caregiver. Okay, so they are more likely to become demanding and possessive in relationships, you see, and even codependent. You see now. So when you have inconsistent parenting style, you cause your child to develop all that. So the child can't rely on their parent to be there when needed. So because of this, the child fails to develop any feelings of security, you see, from the parent. So the child will become more demanding and even clingy. These are the type of children you will have a parent that have a child that cry constantly. Every time the child is just crying. And they do not want even to be separated from the parent. These are the type of children that they want to be with their parent, with the mother particularly, all the time. If the mother gives the child to someone else, that child will cry and cry unnecessarily and just clingy and just want to be with the mother all the time. And the child does not want to be with anybody else, only with the mother. So why? Because the parent is using inconsistent parenting style. So now the child become more demanding and clingy, hoping that their exaggerated distress will force the parent to react. The child become needy, angry, and distrustful. This is the reason why you have some babies that are just angry all the time and anxious and distrustful, and they just want to be with the mother alone, not with any other person. When you take them away from the mother, they cry until you return them back. It's because the parent is using inconsistent parenting style. So children who have parents that neglect them and are emotional and unavailable are more likely to develop anxious attachment style. Okay, and as adults, they will have those problems that I just listed. Okay, so the third one is called avoidant insecure attachment style. So how do children develop avoided insecure attachment style? The children develop this type of attachment style whenever parents do not respond sensitively to their child's needs. So instead of comforting the child, they reject the child's needs. Parents don't have that sensitivity towards their child's emotions. So, for example, you will have this parent, whenever they have a baby and the baby is crying, especially African parents, they will say, let him cry, he won't die. Me, I'm busy. So, like that, you have rejected your child's demand. You are insensitive to your child's need. So they will develop what we call avoided insecure attachment. So you reject and ignore your child's need, and you do not help at all. That child will cry until they stop on their own. So if you do that to your baby, they will develop what we call avoidant attachment style personality. So the child learns that it is best to avoid bringing the parents into their picture, because after all, the parent does not respond in a helpful manner. So the child learns that it is better to shut down their feelings and become self-reliant. Children with avoidant insecure attachment do not ask for help as adults. So if you have your child or your baby that is crying and you ignore and reject their needs, you are teaching them to suppress their emotion. You are teaching them not to seek help. And as an adult, they will take that to their adulthood stage, and whenever they will have problems, they won't be able to express their emotions, and they won't seek help because you taught them that. Okay. So, yeah. So children with avoidant insecure attachment, as adults, they will be insecure. These are type of people that will be insecure in romantic relationships because they were not provided with securities. And they will also they may also avoid relationships as adults. Why do they have to avoid a relationship? Because, listen here, the child learns that when you have your baby and the baby is crying and you ignore and you reject their need and you do not help at all, the child learns that it is best to avoid bringing in the parent into their picture. The child won't learn the importance of relationships. You see? Because after all, the parent does not respond in a helpful manner. So the child learns that it is better to shut down their feelings and become self-reliant. You see? They are self-reliant. So as adults, they may even avoid relationships. They won't see the need of relationship because they are self-reliant. They have that avoidant, insecure attachment style. Okay, so they are more likely to be fearful and keep others at a distance. You see? So they are more likely to be fearful and keep others at a distance because when they were young, the mother rejected and ignored their needs and did not help them at all. So they become self-reliant. So they think that it is best to avoid bringing anybody into their picture because after all, the parent did not respond in a helpful manner. So the child learned that it's better to shut down their feelings and become self-reliant. So they won't seek help from anybody. They become self-reliant. They become fearful. And they will just keep others at a distance. Okay? So that was my number 3. Number 4, it's called disorganized, insecure attachment. How do children develop disorganized, insecure attachment? In this type of attachment, children develop it when a parent have a typical behavior of a parenting style. So if a parent have a baby, again here, they reject their needs and they frightened the child. So, for example, a parent will have a baby and the baby is crying and the parent will say, "Why are you crying?" with a harsh tone. "Stop crying. If you are not stopping, I will beat you now. Stop." So, here a parent have a typical behavior in their parenting style. They show a typical behavior to the child. So they reject and they threaten the child to say, "You should keep quiet now or else I will beat you." If you do like that to your child, you are busy making them to develop what we call disorganized, insecure attachment. Okay, so So the child will grow up being fearful and having increased anxiety. These are the reason why some people, they fear speaking in public. They fear speaking out because they were frightened by their parents when they were young. So they will grow up fearful of everything, and they will grow up with increased anxiety. So the child eventually starts to develop behavior that help them feel safe. For example, they become aggressive toward the parent. They even refuse care from the parent. Simply become super self-reliant. And you wonder why your partner is aggressive. It's aggressive, it's a mechanism that the child develop in order to protect themselves because they were threatened as babies by their parents. So they will grow up with that, and they will be aggressive in those romantic relationships. They will be full of stress and they will be fearful. Okay, so disorganized, insecure attachment, these are the people that will become psychopaths as adults. They become socially irresponsible. They are the type of people that violate the rights of others. You see how you can damage your child in their childhood stage. Okay. So, yeah. So, in conclusion, I want you to understand that children who experience secure childhood attachment. When I'm talking about secure, I mean those children who had all their needs met by the caregivers. They generally tend to create successful romantic relationships as adults. They are honest, they are supportive, they are comfortable with sharing their feelings. While those ones that has insecure childhood, when I'm talking of insecure, all these three, disorganized, insecure attachment, that is an insecure relationship. Avoidant, insecure attachment, and anxious, insecure attachment. These are all insecure attachment style personality. So children who experiences insecure childhood, they are more likely to fail in romantic relationship. They are more likely to fail or have a failed marriage because they will be insecure in those romantic relationships. They will be possessive. They will abuse others with all their emotional needs. Whatever their parents or their caregiver did not provide, they will grow up lacking that, and they will look for that in romantic relationships. So it's very important that you as a parent, particularly mothers, do not give your child away. We have mothers that whenever they give birth, as soon as their children turn 1, they will give away their child to someone so that someone should raise their child. Early separation of a child from a mother can damage a child also. It can lead to a child growing up with some needs that are not met, and it will affect every relationship that they will have in their adulthood stage. So it's very important, you as a mother, that when you give birth, be a responsible mother. Try to provide your child with all the needs that they will have. Try to provide them with security of love, security of comfort, security of protection. Early separation of a child from a mother can cause a lot of damage in your child. And when the child will grow up, that child will be a miserable adult. So, yeah. So I hope you have learned something from my video. I hope you will date in the right way. Yeah, so I hope to see you on my next video. Do have a great day, and goodbye.